Okay, what if I told you that the very idea of money is about to change forever? I'm not talking about some far off future, I'm talking about a massive shift that's already scheduled to happen. A quiet revolution that's going to completely redefine what it means to own, spend, and save your money. Now, I know that sounds incredibly dramatic, but the idea we're digging into today is just that. There's a growing belief that the year 2026 isn't just another date on the calendar. It's being seen as this huge turning point, a moment where the idea of financial transparency could be twisted to bring in an age of, well, absolute control. So, let's get into what that really means. You see, we are stepping into an era of something called programmable money. Now, this isn't just about switching from cash to credit cards. We've already done that. No, this is a completely different beast. Imagine the money in your account not being controlled by you, but by an algorithm. An algorithm that could decide where you spend it, when you spend it, and maybe even if you're allowed to spend it at all. That's the core idea we have to get our heads around first. And this is where that difference becomes so critical. We all use digital money, right? That number in your banking app. But here's the thing, that money is technically a liability of your commercial bank. They're the middleman. A central bank digital currency, or a CBDC, is something else entirely. It's a direct, one-to-one link from you to the central bank. No one in between. It's not just a promise of value, it's literally government-controlled code in your wallet. And that simple switch completely changes the power dynamic of your finances. So what's the big deal with it being programmable? Well, everything. Your money could literally come with an expiration date to force you to spend it and stimulate the economy. Or it could be geofenced, meaning your digital dollars only work in a certain city. Or maybe you're blocked from buying certain products, like, say, a plane ticket if your social credit score is too low. And because it's all just code, your assets could be frozen or taken with a single keystroke. No courts, no lawyers. Plus, every single cup of coffee, every online purchase, every single transaction becomes a permanent data point on a massive central ledger. So that brings up a really important question, doesn't it? If this level of control is really coming down the pipeline, you have to wonder, is there an escape plan? Are the wealthiest people in the world, the financial elites, just going to accept this? Or have they already built themselves a backdoor, a secret way to operate completely outside of this new transparent cage? That is exactly what we're talking about next. And that backdoor has a name. It's called the ghost portfolio. I mean, the name itself is pretty cool, right? It just sounds like something that's there, but you can't quite see it. And that's the whole point. While the mainstream system is being designed for total transparency, a parallel system is being built for the exact opposite: total privacy. Now let's be super clear. A ghost portfolio is not a bank account. You can't just walk into your local branch and ask to open one. It's a structure built on a private, decentralized network. The magic word here is tokenization. You take a real-world asset, think a bar of gold, the deed to a house, and you create a unique digital token that represents your ownership. Then that token gets moved onto this private network, completely cut off from the traditional system. It makes the asset invisible and, at least on paper, ownerless. So how do you make a solid bar of gold disappear into the digital ether? Well, it's basically a three-step process. First, you've got your asset, right? Let's say it's that gold bar sitting in a vault somewhere in Zurich. Step 2, you tokenize it. A digital certificate, a totally unique token, is created that cryptographically proves you own that specific bar of gold. And then step 3, and this is the most important part, you move that token into a private sovereign cloud. Its connection to any public registry is just gone. It now exists only on this private network. The easiest way to think about this is like a digital trust fund. You know, wealthy families have used trusts for centuries to manage their assets. On paper, the trust owns the property, not the family members. The ghost portfolio is just the 21st century version of that, but on steroids. To the outside world, you own nothing, but in reality, you hold the private keys, which gives you absolute total control over those assets. It's a brilliant move legally and digitally. Okay, but I get it. This sounds a little bit like magic, right? Something out of a spy movie. So what's the actual technology behind it? How can anything digital be made truly private in a world where everything is tracked? We need to peel back one more layer and look at the engine that makes this whole thing run. And this is where things get really fascinating. We're moving from the what to the how, because this isn't magic. It's a very specific type of technology that was built from the ground up for one thing: privacy. And it's totally different from what most people think of when they hear the word crypto. Yeah, this comparison is absolutely key. When most people hear digital token, their mind jumps to Bitcoin or Ethereum, but those are built on public blockchains. Every single transaction is recorded on a public ledger for anyone in the world to see. They're traceable. A private sovereign cloud is the polar opposite. It is designed to be private, to be obscured. Its goal isn't just to hide your name, it's to provide true anonymity and what we call absolute user sovereignty. That means you and only you hold the keys. You make the rules. So the entire point of this technology is to do one thing and one thing only: break the identity link. The whole system is engineered to just snip the wire that connects your name, your identity, to the asset itself. And this is done with layers of really advanced encryption and, get this, AI-driven systems that actively hide the asset's origin and ownership. It's like digital camouflage that makes it a needle in a global haystack. And one of the coolest techniques they use to do this is called sharding. Instead of your digital asset just sitting on one server in one country, it gets digitally shattered into 1,000 tiny pieces. One piece might end up on a server in Panama, another in Singapore, another in Switzerland, all in different legal jurisdictions. This means no single government can ever get their hands on the whole asset, because they can never even see the full picture. It's like a digital Swiss vault, but spread all over the world. Now, all of this sounds incredibly complex, probably super expensive, like something only billionaires could ever use. But is that true? Or can a regular person take these same principles and start to build their own little digital fortress to protect their privacy? Well, let's find out in our final section. Okay, so let's bring this down from the stratosphere and back to reality. How can someone who doesn't have a 9-figure bank account actually start using these ideas? It all starts with the basics of what's called digital sovereignty. This is a great starting point for anyone. First, using a hardware wallet is a must. It means getting your assets off of exchanges where you don't really control them. Second, going air-gapped. That means using a secure device that has never, ever touched the internet to sign your transactions. That creates your own tiny personal security bubble, your very first sovereign cloud. Third, start looking into privacy coins, not just to invest, but to understand the tech behind untraceable transactions. And finally, start learning about digital havens, places in the world with strong data protection laws. It's about building your fortress, one brick at a time. And this quote just perfectly sums up this entire idea. It's talking about a complete paradigm shift. The new status symbol might not be a huge bank balance that everyone can see. It might be a portfolio that is completely invisible to that system. Wealth becomes about sovereignty and privacy, not just a number on a screen. And that's really the final thought I want to leave you with. As we head into this new financial world, what's really going to matter more? The transparent, easily controlled wealth that everyone knows about, or the private, resilient wealth that exists just beyond the system's reach? It's a question we all might have to answer sooner than we think. And as wild as this all sounds, it's really just the beginning. The next evolution, which we're going to break down in a future explainer, is how artificial intelligence is being used to completely automate these shadow structures, making them smarter, faster, and even more invisible. Thanks for diving into this with us.